We are getting new information tonight on a chaotic scene in Phoenix.
Yeah, Sky Fox over the scene yesterday morning where a man was found dead in his crashed Jeep. He had been shot. Linda Williams is live near 20th Street and Palm Lane tonight with more of what happened. Linda.
This gaping hole in the freeway wall shows just how hard that Jeep slammed into the freeway wall yesterday. Now, what Phoenix police are telling us, and through court documents, is that that Jeep came from this neighborhood and that the driver had been shot. It began 4:30 Tuesday morning, Phoenix police say, when a father and son who live in this house near 20th Street and Palm Lane confronted a man in their driveway. They say he was stealing a catalytic converter from their Prius. In court paperwork, police say as the man, 27-year-old Patrick Pearson, drove away in his gray Jeep, two people opened fire. Detectives say Pearson was shot in the head and upper torso. His Jeep veered out of control and slammed into the barrier wall that separates this neighborhood from the State Route 51 freeway. Pearson died at the scene. In court paperwork, the father and son said they fired at the tires of the Jeep as it drove away. After investigating, Phoenix police arrested 22-year-old Agustin Chariz Romero and his father, 47-year-old Agustin Chariz Duarte, each facing a count of second-degree murder. They are being held on $250,000 bond and are due back in court next month. Linda Williams, Fox 10 News.
A Phoenix man now arrested in the murder of his wife. We're learning new information about how investigators finally tracked him down.
It's been nearly 2 months since police discovered the body of Amy Jo Schulte in her apartment. Fox 10 investigator Justin Lum showed and spoke to her loved ones who are relieved that an arrest has been made.
Sean Schulte is booked on multiple charges, including second-degree murder and tampering with evidence. Court documents say investigators found Ajax powder on the victim's body. By that time, Schulte had taken off to Mexico.
You just don't expect to hear that. It just really was a shock.
Glenn Hurd and his wife, Christy, spoke to me from Louisiana. The ex-husband of 49-year-old Amy Jo Schulte says he was shocked to learn of her sudden death last month.
She was a brilliant person. I mean, IQ, I think 160 plus, and I think it's a tragic loss that she's gone.
On April 6th, Phoenix police found Amy's body in her apartment near North 36th Street and Osborne Road. 3 calls for a welfare check had been made, one by Amy's boss, the second by her mother-in-law, and finally, Amy's neighbor. She was last seen alive 2 days earlier. A medical examiner determined the cause of death is assault and blunt force trauma. Sean Schulte was gone. Court documents say his mother got a call from the Mexican consulate saying her Ford EcoSport was discovered in Mexico, damaged and disabled. Sean nowhere to be found. By May 19th, police say a customs agent spoke to the 52-year-old at the Miami International Airport, learning he traveled to Mexico, Colombia, and Haiti, now making his way back to Phoenix. 5 days later, authorities arrested him in Chandler.
I knew when she told me they got married that something would happen. I just knew it.
Terry Winters tells me her motherly instinct kicked in when Amy and Sean married last December. Police say a witness received texts from Amy in late March claiming her husband was physically and verbally abusive. Amy leaves behind a 21-year-old son, Matthew, who is struggling with her loss.
And they were talking all the time and they were planning to see each other, and she was planning to come out when he graduates next year from college. And he stole all that from Matthew.
Documents reveal Sean was convicted of aggravated assault in 2007, but sentenced to an Arizona State hospital for 7.5 years. In 2018, convicted of computer tampering. Investigators say he has a history of schizophrenia, now accused of murder with a $1 million bond.
I hope he stays there.
During his interview with police, court docs say Sean denied killing his wife and drove to Mexico to find himself. That's when he says his car was stolen. Documents also say Amy requested that her husband not be let into her apartment under any circumstances. Live in the studio, Justin Lum, Fox 10 News.
A shooting and crash along the I-17 early this morning, leaving an 18-year-old dead.
The investigation shut down the Thunderbird off-ramp for most of the day. Nicole Garcia joins us live with the latest. Nicole.
Police have released some new details in this case. They have released the name of that driver who crashed his car into the ditch behind me off of I-17 and Thunderbird. He's identified as 18-year-old Jaden Carnell Garcia. Now, police say that he died before the crash. Now, there's a shooting investigation. The shooter's still on the loose. The motive is still unknown at this point, but according to court records, Carnell Garcia was about to be sentenced to federal prison. At around 4 o'clock Wednesday morning, police received several calls about a car that crashed off I-17 northbound and Thunderbird. The car went down an embankment and ended up at the bottom of a water retention basin.
We got out there and we located a male deceased, an adult male inside the vehicle.
Police say Jaden Carnell Garcia wasn't killed in the car crash. Rather, Carnell Garcia died from an apparent shooting.
There are round strikes on the vehicle. We believe the shooting occurred somewhere on or around the I-17 northbound.
The investigation shut down the Thunderbird off-ramp off of I-17 northbound for the entire morning. According to court records, Carnell Garcia was recently arrested by Border Patrol agents as part of a human smuggling investigation. He had entered a plea agreement in federal court and was awaiting his sentencing hearing when he was killed. Meanwhile, Phoenix police are still searching for a suspect and a motive.
They're still trying to piece that together in the investigation. We don't know anything if it was a traffic dispute or how it began.
And the I-17 off-ramp at Thunderbird is open now. Police are asking anybody with information to call Silent Witness. Reporting live, I'm Nicole Garcia, Fox 10 News.
New Mexico man suspected of killing a woman in front of their child has been caught in eastern Arizona. Just another domestic homicide that we're reporting on this morning. 26-year-old Zion Gibson was arrested after a pursuit that ended in a crash in Holbrook. Police say he killed 25-year-old Rosa Trujillo in front of their 3-year-old daughter. Investigators say the victim called 911. When Gibson showed up at her home, she was shot while on the phone with a dispatcher. Gibson now faces murder charges.
Phoenix police investigating a homicide that left a man dead in Northwest Phoenix. Now, this unfolded last night near 39th Avenue and Grover's. Officers say they found 49-year-old David Standley shot in the chest. He was taken to the hospital where he died. Another man was detained at the scene. He told police it was self-defense. That man was released based on evidence and witness statements, but the investigation is ongoing.